Picture this. You're peacefully swimming alongside some of the world's most impressive marine creatures in a connected ballet with a feeling of mutual respect and coexistence for one another. Whether it's a whale, shark, crocodile, etc., your respectful admiration remains unscathed. You pull out a camera to capture the perfect shot, highlighting the awe-inspiring marvel of the natural world and share it with the human world. Welcome to the life of Cristina Mittermeier, a world-renowned conservation photographer who has learned to use photography as a way of storytelling on environmental issues to inspire and create lasting change. Firstly, I will discuss Cristina's purpose behind her art. Finally, I will discuss two of her artworks and the stories each of them tells. Let's begin with why she creates art in the first place. Mittermeier has long been fond of the natural world around her. She was born in Mexico City and grew up in Cuernavaca, where she first acquired her passion for the natural world. Mittermeier was always conscious of the issues affecting the environment and our oceans, according to an interview with B&H. She wanted to do something to help. Cristina decided to take on this goal by pursuing scientific studies in college. After her studies at university, Cristina tries to address the issues facing our oceans with science. Cristina published several scientific papers surrounding these issues. She began working for several environmental organizations to, quote, tell stories with data. Cristina quickly realized, however, that most people, quote, don't really connect with numbers, and so she turned to photography as a way of storytelling. It was still essential for her to have this underlying scientific foundation. However, storytelling was a, quote, much better way to reach a much wider audience for Mittermeier, as she states in her interview with Sony Alpha Universe. As Mittermeier herself puts it, quote, I've always wanted to change the world. I always wanted to find a little more social justice. I always wanted to inspire a little more environmental awareness. And that's what I strive for with my images. Now that we understand Cristina's purpose behind her art as a form of conservation and storytelling, we'll discuss two of her artworks and the stories each of them tells. In her artwork, Last Hunters of the North, Cristina Mittermeier presents an Inuit hunter by the name of Naimengetsuq Christiansen, looking up at the Arctic sky as white snow precipitates down on him, sled dogs flurrying in the background. This photograph both captivates the viewer through its dreary white composition, but also makes the viewer question why he's one of the, quote, last hunters of the North. For this image, Cristina was on assignment for National Geographic, intending to show the impacts of climate change on indigenous communities in the Arctic. According to NASA, Arctic sea ice has declined significantly at a rate of 13% per decade, largely due to climate change. This severely harms both the Arctic wildlife and indigenous communities such as the Inuit, as the ice is quite literally melting from below their feet. Cristina Mittermeier traveled by dog sled with the Inuit hunters across the Arctic and got to learn about and share the challenges they're facing through storytelling. Cristina Mittermeier not only brings to light the issues affecting indigenous communities, but also shares with us their cultures and ways of life in considerate ways. In her artwork, Shark Love, Cristina presents a black and white image of a human diving below the ocean's surface to swim alongside a massive hammerhead shark. While most people are afraid of sharks due to their notoriety and popular media like no other, Cristina presents these gentle giants for who they truly are. The media has long painted sharks as these blood-hungry monsters who would stop at nothing to get their hands, or rather fins, on human flesh. This depiction, however, couldn't be further from the truth, and so Cristina set out to shift this hateful narrative to one of love. In her photograph, Mittermeier shows a different, gentle, and loving side to nature that more accurately reflects their true nature. It's images like these, showing humans and animals peacefully coexisting, that genuinely pulls at the viewer's heartstrings and makes us feel empathy for these astounding creatures. This shark, nicknamed Queen by the locals of the Bahamas, is just one of many examples of the beauty behind sharks, but what Cristina's artworks do is share that beauty with the rest of the world. According to Smithsonian Magazine, more than 1/3 of shark species are currently facing extinction. Now more than ever, positive media coverage such as this is imperative for the survival of this species and all species globally, making Cristina's work almost as significant as the creatures themselves. Since her childhood, Cristina has had a passion for the natural world. Initially, she chose the scientific path, but in time, she has learned to use photography on conservation issues to inspire and create lasting change. Today, we went over why she does photography, along with 2 meaningful artworks, each with its own story to tell. Can you recall the visualization I had you do earlier today? Mittermeier not only gets to live these awe-inspiring experiences, but she also shares them with the rest of the world through her photography, including you. If you're interested in nature, conservation, or even solely want to see good art, take a look at Cristina's photographs, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Thank you.